Hello students, my name is Pragati Misra. In our last video we were discussing about the partial differential equations, in which I told you that how to form a partial differential equation. Today we will discuss about non-linear partial differential equations of first order. I have discussed about the definition of non-linear partial differential equation in detail in my first video of partial differential equation. So those who are new on my channel, please watch it there and then attend this video. You will get more profit of this video then. So now I am going to start today's lecture, and in this case we discuss about the non-linear partial differential equations. Let us consider a relation of the form f of where f is the function which is the function of x, y, z. X, y is the independent variable, z is the dependent variable, and a and b are the arbitrary constant. So in this type of differential equation is given to us, and I told you in my previous video that how to form a partial differential equation from this equation. And I also told you about a very important note point, that was it, that if the number of independent variable in a partial differential equation is equal to the number of arbitrary constants, that is, if in an equation, if the number of independent variable is equal to the number of arbitrary constant, then the partial differential equation that is formed is always of first order. So in this case we get a PDE of first order of the form where f is the new function which is the function of x, y, z, and p and q are the first order partial derivatives. So this is converted into the first order partial differential equation. Today we will discuss about different type of integral that is obtained from this equation, and those are complete integrals, particular integrals, singular integrals, and general integral. In that series, firstly we will discuss what is a complete integral. Any such relation which contains as many arbitrary constants as there are independent variables is a solution of PDE of first order. That was the note point in the previous lecture, that is, if the number of independent variable is equal to the number of arbitrary constant in any equation, then that equation is the PDE of first order, and that is called a complete solution or complete integral of that equation. Suppose we have an equation that is of this form, that is, we have a and b as the arbitrary, but in case of partial differential equation we have given an equation of this form, that is, we have given a function which is the function of x, y, z, p and q. Then we try to eliminate p and q by the arbitrary constant a and b. So we try to form a new equation from this equation, and thus equation 1 will be the solution of 1. So we can say that the equation which is obtained by eliminating the first order partial derivatives p and q from equation second, that is called the complete integral for the equation number second. And what is the particular integral? If we give these arbitrary constant a and b some particular values, like I gives a as 1, I take a as 1 and b as 2, then I am giving some particular values to the arbitrary constant. In that case the integral that is formed is called particular integral. So the particular integral is nothing but it is just obtained by giving some particular values to the arbitrary constants a and b in 1. If we give a and b some particular values in equation number 1, then it becomes the particular integral for the given equation. For example, I am taking z is equals to ax plus by plus ab. This is an equation, and here you can see the number of independent variable is equal to the number of arbitrary constants. So the equation that will form must be of first order. So firstly we will differentiate it with respect to x partially. So if we differentiate it, we get debha z by debha x, and that is equal to a because we are taking the partial derivative. And if I again differentiate it with respect to y, since I told you that how to form a PDE by a given equation, firstly we have to differentiate it with respect to x and then with respect to y, and then we try to eliminate the arbitrary constant a and b from these three equations. So the PDE that is formed is equal to p is equal to a. We put in this equation a is equal to p. So we get z is equals to px and b is equal to q, since we are getting q as b. So qy, and at the place of ab we put pq. So z is equals to px plus qy plus pq is the complete integral for the given equation. which is obtained by forming the partial differential equation with the help of given equation. So in this way we can say that first is the complete integral of second. This was first and this is the second. So this is the equation 1 is the complete integral for the equation number second, because in the question we have given this and we have to find this with the help of this. So this will be the complete integral for this equation. Now if we give some particular values a is equal to 1 and b is equal to 0 to this equation, then first becomes z is equals to a, and this is obtained by giving the particular values to the arbitrary constant. Sorry, this is x, because we are taking a as 1, so this will be z is equals to x. So I hope you understand the concept of complete integral and particular integral. In this case we have given a differential equation of this form. We just try to find the arbitrary constant with the help of this equation. I will take other examples to show how to find the complete integral of any given partial differential equation. And then if we take the particular values for the arbitrary constant, then that solution becomes the particular integral or particular solution for the equation number 1. So now we will discuss about the singular integral. A solution of the PDE which is enveloped to the general solution or integral is called a singular integral. That is, as an equation which is enveloped to the given integral or equation is called the singular integral, and the equation of the envelope of the surface represented by f of xyz ab, that is the given equation, is equal to 0 is obtained by eliminating a and b from the three equations, and that three equations are: firstly we differentiate the given equation which is present in x, y, z and ab with respect to a and then equate it to the 0, and then we differentiate it with respect to b partially and then again equate it to the 0, and then we take the function as the 0, and with the help of these three equations we just try to remove the constants, and the equation that is formed after removing the constant, that will be the envelopes equation, and that is called the singular integral for the given PDE. So now we will discuss the last integral, that is called the general integral. In this integral we have given an equation of this form. If in this equation one of the constants in a and function, simply you just understand that we take the second arbitrary constant as the function of first arbitrary constant. That is, we just try to write the solutions in the term of only one arbitrary constant. So we take b as the function of a, that is b is some function of a. In this case our equation takes the form f of x, y, z a, and b is replaced by some function of a. So this must be the general integral. So I hope you understand the concept of general integral. You will find a solution of this form, and then you just try to remove b with the help of a. That is, we just try to write the value of b as the function of a and then put it into the solution, then we can get the general integral for the given equation. Now in order to find the envelope for this equation, firstly we have to differentiate it with respect to a. Since we can see there are only one arbitrary constant, so we have to differentiate it with respect to a only, and that is partially. So we differentiate it with respect to a and partially, and then we can get the equation of envelope, that is called the general integral, and then we can get the equation of general integral. That is, we equate the given function is as 0, and then we differentiate it with respect to a partially, and then we equate it to 0, and after solving this equation and removing the arbitrary constant a from these two equations, we can easily get the equation of the envelope, and that will be the general integral for the given equation. So I hope you guys will understand the type of integral in PDEs. Now we will discuss some standard forms to solve a non-linear partial differential equation. So firstly we will discuss what is the standard form 1. These standard forms are very helpful to solve a PDE because it is very tough to solve a non-linear PDE, but with these standard form we can easily solve a given partial differential equation. So if the equation involves p and q only, that is f is the function of p and q. Suppose we have given an equation which is the function of p and q only, that is there is no xyz, that is there is no dependent variable or independent variable there. This equation involves only first order partial derivatives p and q. In that case, the complete integral can be directly written as z is equals to ax plus by plus c. So remember this always, that this must be the complete integral for the given equation when it is present in p and q only. The general integral for the equation 1 is obtained by putting b as phi of a. I told you that if we put the second arbitrary constant as the function of first arbitrary constant, then we can get the general integral. So we can put b equal to phi of a, then it becomes the general integral for the equation number 1. Now if we see, there are two arbitrary constant again, because a and c, these two are arbitrary constants. So in order to find the singular integral for this standard form, we have to differentiate it with respect to a first, and then with respect to c, and then we equate it to the 0, and then after solving that three equations and removing the constants a and c, we can get the required singular integral. So if we differentiate this equation with respect to a partially, we get 0, because the derivative of z with respect to a becomes 0, because we are taking partial derivative. This becomes x only, because this is the function of a, so this got differentiated, and this becomes phi dash a into y. And again if we differentiate it with respect to c, because the c was constant, so it becomes 0. Again if we differentiate it with respect to c partially, then we get z as 0. This becomes 0, this becomes 0. We get the derivative of c with respect to c as 1. So what we are getting? 0 equal to 1, which is meaningless. This is not possible ever. So standard form 1 has no singular solution. Now I will take 2 to 3 examples to show what is the actually method of standard form. In our examination, generally general solution is asked, then you have to remember only general solution. Okay, so this is our example number 1, and you can see this is the function of p and q only. In order to solve this type of equation, firstly we put p is equal to a and q is equal to b. Then this equation takes the form a square plus b square is equal to 1. Now I told you that in order to write the general solution for any equation, we write b as the function of a. So we can write it as b is equals to root of 1 minus a square. Now this b becomes the function of a, and if we write the general solution, so the general solution for the first standard form is, z is equals to ax, or we can write dz is equals to p dx plus q dy, and p is a and q is b, so we can write dz is equals to a dx plus b dy. That is, if we integrate it, it becomes z is equals to ax plus by plus integrating constant c. So we got the same value. I just want to show you that how it is obtained. So now we can put the value of b in terms of a. So the general solution becomes z is equals to ax plus under root of 1 minus a square into y plus c. So this is the general solution for the given partial differential equation. So you can see that this becomes very easy to solve any partial differential equation with the help of these standard forms. So this was the first standard form. I will take some more examples to show what is the method actually. This is our example number 2. Now you can see this is the function of p and q only again, because n is the some constant, that is some number. So this is the function of p and q only. So we can solve it by the first standard form. In order to apply the first standard form, we have to first put p is equal to a and q is equal to b, but we cannot put it directly because this is present in quadratic form. So firstly we put only a, p is equal to a. So this equation becomes a square plus q square is equal to, or just put it so it will be more easy. So put P is equal to A and Q is equal to B. So this equation takes the form, I just want to write A square plus B square is equal to NAB. Now this equation we have to find the value of B, so we have to make it this equation quadratic in B so that we can find the value of B in the terms of A. So we can write this equation A as, now this equation becomes quadratic in B and we can solve it by the method B is equals to minus B, that is minus Na. So we can write it as minus of Na plus minus root of B square, that is N square A square, minus 4A, A is 1 here, and C is A square upon 2 into 1. Now if we simplify it, this becomes Na plus minus root of N square A square minus 4A square by 2. And we can take A outside because this is present in square. So B is equals to Na plus minus root of N square minus 4 by 2 into A. A is outside the square root. So this is the value of B in terms of A. Now we can easily write the general solution for this equation. So I am going to write the general solution. Hence the general solution is Z is equals to AX plus BY plus C, and our A was P. Our P was A, so Z is equals to AX. At the place of B we can put this because we are trying to find the value of B as the function of A. So this becomes Na plus minus A under root N square minus 4 by 2 plus some arbitrary constant C. So this is the general solution for the given partial differential equation, non-linear partial differential equation. I hope you guys understand it. Now I am going to take 2 more examples. So this is our third example. Now firstly we put, because this is present, this is the function of P and Q only, so we put P is equal to A, and actually here Z is also present, so this cannot be solved by first standard form. For this I will tell you about the second, third and fourth standard forms, then we can solve it. Here suppose this PQ is equal to 1. Now this is the function of P and Q only, and then we can solve it by the first standard form. So we put P is equal to A and Q is equal to B. So the given equation takes the form AB is equal to 1. Now in order to write the general solution, we have to write this constant B as the function of A. So we can write B is equal to 1 by A with the help of this equation. So the general solution becomes, so the general solution is Z is equals to AX plus BY plus C, and B is equal to 1 by A. So this takes the form AX plus 1 by A into Y plus C. So this is the general solution for this equation. So always remember, when the equation is given in the form of, in the function as the function of P and Q only, then only we can apply the first standard form. So this is the last example of today's lecture. Now you can see this is the function of P and Q again. So we can solve it by first standard form. So firstly what we do, we put P is equal to A and Q is equal to B. So if we put, then this becomes root A plus root B is equal to 1. Now we have to find the value of B as the function of constant A. So we can write it as root B is equals to 1 minus root A. But we have to find the value of B. So we just square on both sides. Then this becomes B is equals to 1 minus root A whole square. Whole square of 1 minus root A. So now we can write the general solution because we are able to find the value of B as the function of A. So the general solution for this equation is, so the general solution is Z is equals to AX plus BY plus C. This is the solution, and if we put the value of b, then this becomes z is equals to ax plus 1 minus root a whole square into y plus c. So this is the general solution for this equation. I hope you guys understand the first standard form actually, and how to apply this method, and how to understand that the given equation can be solved by the first standard form or not. And I hope you understood the difference between the integrals, that is complete integrals, singular integral, and others also. And yes, if you are liking my content, please subscribe my channel. Thank you.